truth is, I am Iron Man.
Lieutenant Dan! Inconceivable!
I got a bad feeling about this.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Flicks and Clix. This is me as Keelan Cienfuegos, and I'm joined today by Micah, Daniel, and Tyler. And who boy dang gone Narbit? We got a big episode.
Gone Narbit?
Really big episode. May Madness. You know, everyone's favorite time of year in college sports.
May Madness 2021.
The first annual.
That's right. If
First
you're watching
annual.
this instead of watching NCAA basketball, that's because that was 2
NCAA.
months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost said March Madness, but that would have given away that it was 2 months ago instead of. Anyway, that's why it's called. That's why it's called May Madness, because it's now.
In May.
Yeah.
It is May indeed.
Now is May for sure.
Yes. Yeah, this is going to be a really big, fun episode. What we're doing is we're pitting some of our favorite and some of just what we thought were the most iconic video game characters against each other in a bracket-style one-on-one to the death extravaganza for the children.
Mm-hmm.
That's the official name of the event, I guess.
Yep.
But we shortened it to May Madness. So, yeah, we got 32 characters, which is a lot. We had a couple rules. We couldn't do
Batman.
because he was a prior established character. He's not. He wasn't created for a video game, and so like characters, then you could go to Star Wars Battlefront 2 and pick, all the Jedi, and it would be over, or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Who knows?
or the Marvel
Some-
characters. That could be a
Some
whole
bold
nother.
statements.
That could be a whole other tournament sometime down the road. Anyway,
They don't belong in this game.
yeah, get the heck out of here. We don't want you around.
Yeah.
So really quick, I'm going to name off the 32 characters in order from 1 to 32 in our ranking. It was hard for me to do this. I was telling you guys earlier, but I didn't know if I should rank them by who I thought was the strongest and who would win or who is the most iconic. And so I kind of meshed those two ideas in my ranking of these people. And then I filled the bracket out how I think a normal seeded 32 bracket would be. And so that's why these pairings might seem a little weird when they go up against each other. But anyway, 1 to 32. Number 1, Kratos from God of War. Number 2, Master Chief from Halo. Number 3, the Dragonborn from Skyrim. Number 4, Mario from Mario. Number 5 is Sephiroth from Final Fantasy. Number 6 is Cole McGrath from Infamous. Number 7 is Ratchet and Clank. That's the other thing. Characters that operate as a duo stay together. So Ratchet, I think there's only 2 of them. So Ratchet and Clank is number 7. And then coincidentally, number 8 is Jack and Daxter. So they'll be together. Number 9 is Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. Number 10 is Geralt from The Witcher, which I now realize I shouldn't have added because he was originated in the book.
Technically originated outside of it, but that's okay.
yeah, but
yeah.
like made famous through video games. So
Yeah.
He's not a Jedi, so he counts. That's fine. It's a good matchup.
Yeah. Number 11 is Cloud, also from Final Fantasy. I think there's 3 Final Fantasy characters in this. Number 12 is the Chosen Undead, which is the protagonist of the Dark Souls games. Number 13 is, where are you? Number 13 is Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Number 14 is Sonic. Number 15 is Lara Croft.
From Lara Croft.
Number 16 is Crypto from Destroy All Humans. Number 17 is Commander Shepard from Mass Effect. Number 18 is Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Number 19 is Noctis from Final Fantasy. That's the last Final Fantasy character, I think.
Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy 15, yeah. Number 20 is Spyro from Spyro. Number 21 is Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
From Sora? Sorry.
Number 22 is Link from The Legend of Zelda. Number 23 is Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell.
Pandora
Ghost Recon.
Tomorrow.
Number 24 is Pac-Man from Pac-Man. Number 25 is Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Number 26
From
is
Donkey Kong. People were confused for a second, so I just wanted to make sure.
number 26.
What about Diddy Kong, dude? What about Diddy Kong? Where's he at?
I was looking at when I was actually later.
Sorry, continue.
Number 26 is Ezio Auditore de Firenze from Assassin's Creed. 27 is John Marston from Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 28 is Wander. He's the main character in Shadow of the Colossus. Number 29 is Doomslayer. He's the main guy from Doom. No, I think that's his name. I don't actually know. I'm pretty sure. Anyway. Number 30 is Star Fox. I think his name is Star Fox, right?
Fox McCloud.
Fox
Yeah.
McCloud. Whoops.
Yeah.
Fox McCloud. I should have asked before I.
Who is a
The-
Star Fox?
The Star Fox.
So
From Star Fox.
Star Fox, Pandora Tomorrow.
Star Fox Pandora tomorrow.
Fox
No,
McCloud. Okay.
Number 31 is Samus from Metroid. And number
Yeah.
32, to round us out, is Kirby from Kirby. So,
Freaking Kirby. He'll just swallow you up, and it'll be great.
By the way, it's tradition to have Kirby to be at the very bottom, but we'll see what happens.
yeah. We'll have to come up with some... We'll figure out rules when we go along, because all these characters exist in different universes that have their own rules. So we'll have to figure that out.
It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Before we even start though, if you're interested in having a bracket of your own, we have the bracket available for you. It's posted on Twitter. It's posted mainly on Twitter, I think, is the only place. Can we post it on Instagram?
We'll post a picture of it on Instagram, but
There you go.
We
we'll
could do a
post like a
series of-
link to it on Twitter for sure.
There
We
you
could
go.
do like a series of this or that
Yes,
poll
very true.
on
Oh,
Instagram
yeah.
in
Based on what you
story.
think. That's what
That's a
we'll do.
good idea.
Hey, Daniel,
Nice.
you're good at that. You'll do that.
Well, make sure you have a bracket of your own and fill it out and see how close you get, because our answers are final and true, and they are not wrong. So if you are wrong, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah.
your guys' answers will be subjective. Ours will be objective. So, sorry. Can't argue
Capital
with
T
us.
truth.
Bummer.
Absolutely.
I mean, we did make this, so it makes sense that we have the final say.
Yes.
Do you guys just want to
Well,
start with...
I want to talk about someone you didn't put in there. I put it on the text. There's this character in Skyrim named Lydia, and
Oh, right.
she's this companion that you can take with you. In Skyrim, you can ask people to follow you, and anyway, she's just this normal chick who's got epic armor. She's kind of burly, and she follows you around if you want her to. And if you don't just say okay, your services are done, and you just try to get rid of her a different way, she will always come back. Always. One time, I unrelenting forced her off of a cliff. I went to the very top of that one where you talk to Alduin the dragon, and Fusrodad her off the cliff, and I was done. And then I went back to my house, and she was like, "What can I do for you, my Thane?" And I was like, so anyway, she's indestructible. So I guess it would make sense that you didn't put her in here, because she'd just win. So
Too powerful.
I was going to say, it would probably be, in the very end, the Dragonborn versus her. We know who would win.
yeah, right.
Because the Dragonborn didn't.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so rip Lydia on that one.
Also, there are going to be a couple characters. I know there's at least one who has different variations of that character because of
Sora.
well, not that way. But Sora does have different forms.
Sure.
The one I'm thinking about is Lara Croft. There's
Okay. Yep.
original
That's
one, and there's the reboot version. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And then as far as the other characters go,
Wait. Does your bracket say Kratos at the top?
It does.
I just realized it says
Whoops.
Kratos, not Kratos.
Also, Keelan, you said there's certain characters that have certain things about them, and we'll talk about them when we get there. That's what you just said.
very informative of me.
Very, very intriguing as well.
But there will be other characters that, obviously throughout their games get more powerful. I think it's best to assume each character is in their prime, whatever that would mean for each character. So, like Jak and Daxter won't be Jak and Daxter from the first one. It'll be,
Kirby's prime. What's Kirby's prime, I wonder? What's
Kirby,
Mario's
Kirby
prime,
is
I wonder?
always in his prime.
So is Mario. Let's be real. Wow, that's a good.
He's
that's a
been
good
practicing jumping on heads for his whole life.
We're exclusively talking about Paper Mario.
Point. Oh,
What?
Just kidding.
I was trying to think of what the
Okay.
difference is between Paper Mario and all the others.
Paper Mario is flat.
I'm obviously that part.
All right.
you guys ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm too excited.
Where are we starting? Are we starting on the left side or the right side?
The left side. I think we should do the
Kratos versus Kirby.
the top left, bottom left, top right, bottom right.
All right, man.
This episode also, for those listening, we're past 10 minutes and we haven't even started yet. So this is most likely going to be
It's probably
two-parter.
a twofer.
So welcome to the first part. First matchup is Kratos versus Kirby. Which that's the number 1 seed versus the number 32 seed, which should be really easy. Number 1 obviously is going to be 32, but this might be an upset right off the bat.
So I also want to point out that most brackets have a 1 through 16 on either side, but this isn't an East-West type thing, and it's not like a good guys versus bad guys type thing because there's only a couple bad guys in here. So it just made more sense to do 1 through 32 because then everyone's ranked. So it could be, Kirby in the final with Master Chief. You never know. Could be number 32 versus number 2, which is even more of a Cinderella story. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I just wanted to throw that out there. If you're like, why is it 1 through 32, not 1 through 16 on both sides? So that's why.
Yeah. And I think, we'll talk about it. Who do you guys think would win in a fight to the death between Kirby and Kratos?
I think we have to ask 2 questions. One is, does Kirby die? And number 2 is, Kratos has already died and came back. So is he just going to do that again?
That's true.
I think
does
it has
that,
to.
Does that count, though?
No, I think that it has to be a KO match. It cannot be actual death. Because, some characters are going to be able to come back from the dead. Don't even get me started with Sora. We're not even there yet. So,
Okay, yeah. So like a knockout, almost like Smash Bros. Style?
yeah. Could be
Okay.
a potential rematch later type of thing.
Sure. I'm just going to put it out there. I think Kratos would win instantly.
I don't know much about Kirby. The only exposure I have to Kirby is from Smash Bros. I think the worst character to fight because Kirby just eats you and then gets all your powers. And if that happened, I think it's a tricky thing because that means Kirby could basically win everything.
That's the thing. That's why I was, for the record, moving for Kirby not to be on the bracket. Only for that reason, because he's kind of a trump card in a lot of ways. But in the actual Kirby games, I played one on a Game Boy, and the Kirby games, it was just like that. He would suck up all the enemies, and he would have their powers, and you could literally go around and get whatever powers you liked most, and you could just, destroy everything with that. So, okay, let's imagine. Micah, you said that you think that Kratos would win. How would he do it?
Yeah, I think that Kirby would do his little suction thing, and before he could spit Kratos out, Kratos would just rip him apart from the inside. I just don't think that there's any chance Kirby comes out of this in one piece. I think he's just going to be completely obliterated. Plus, he's got the Blades of Chaos and a giant axe. And so does Kirby get both of those things? And if he does, they're mini versions of them, and I think that matters as well.
I think that what would happen is Kratos would throw his axe first, because we all know that's what we did first when we played as Kratos. So he would throw his axe at Kirby. Maybe not, when you first ever played Kratos in the original God of War, but still. So he'd throw the axe. Kirby would suck up the axe and then
Which
chuck
would
it
be
back.
awesome looking, by the way. I'm just thinking about it in my head like, whoa.
And then he would chuck it back at Kratos.
That would be actually pretty dope, and he'd probably just catch it.
He probably would just catch it. That's the thing. So that doesn't work. Okay, so then the Blades of Chaos, he's going to swing them at Kirby, and Kirby might try and suck them up, but he's chained to them. So he can't really suck those up. So he brings them back in. And Kirby's thing anyway is to suck the actual person up. And so the other thing is the Fists of Rage. I was thinking about his Rage Fits.
Oh, yeah.
And so he could eventually go to that, perhaps. And then I think before, one of the things you had to do as Kirby is you had to suck up the guys, and then you'd press down on the D-pad, and then that's when you'd become the person. Because if you didn't, then you could just spit the person back out. So the person's still alive in there. So I think as soon as Kirby sucks up Kratos goes into his fit of rage and just absolutely obliterates Kirby. I think you're right.
But see, okay, look, let me say this up front.
It's going to be a long episode, boys.
As you guys were talking, my mind was just working and spinning, and I actually put Kratos winning, and now I'm second guessing it, because in reality, we don't know what's inside Kirby when he sucks him up.
Oh, God.
Hold on. Let's think about Smash Bros, where he's obviously pitted up against things that are other than cute, squishy other animals in Kirby's world, like in his own game, right? Kirby's sucking up Link, who is knife and shield, probably swinging and freaking out inside, and he can't bust out of it, right? So what the heck is inside Kirby, and can Kratos just bust out of it? What if it's like a black hole and he's just in there? Not only that, but Kirby could, which is a tactic that friends have played on me on Smash Bros, is suck them up and shoot them off of the map or into a wall and just do that as the primary attack. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but Kirby doesn't win every time in Smash Bros.
No.
He's very, very
True.
good, but he does not win every time in Smash Bros.
Because if he gets hit pretty easy. He's not very big.
Gets hit pretty hard.
But
and
he's also just squish.
Yeah, but
I don't
even
know.
if you're squishy, let's think about Smash Bros. Let's take that into account then for a second. If you slash someone hard enough, they just go flying off into the distance and go into a twinkle in the sky. That counts
Yes.
as a KO.
Yes.
Bing.
Yeah. And if there's anyone who can punch someone that far, it's Kratos. We've seen it happen.
For real.
He
fair.
kills
It's
all
fair.
of the Olympic gods. He kills several of the Norse gods and is probably going to do more in the next game. He's come back from stabbing his own self in the sternum with a giant mythical sword and crawled off the top of a thing bleeding and then went and got married and had a kid. So
And then had another game a couple years later, and it was still awesome. It was even better than the other games.
yes.
I just don't see Kirby winning this, guys.
I think that if we did best out of 10, Kirby might win a couple of them,
Yeah, Kirby might win 2 or 3.
but I think Kratos would win more of them.
The other question has to be asked too.
Oh, no.
This will be short. I think that it warrants at least a little bit of discussion of what Kirby gets when he absorbs someone's power. Because if he gets Kratos' godlike power, then he can do anything. But in the Melee games or whatever, Kirby doesn't get all of the powers and abilities of the characters
That's true.
he sucks up. So it depends on what he gets when he sucks up Kratos.
Well, in the actual Kirby
Does
games,
he just get a beard and an axe?
in the
Right,
actual
if that's
Kirby-
all he gets, then no way. But if he gets rage and all the actual abilities, I don't know.
I think
Think
that's
of
the
Pink
argument
Kratos.
then. I think that's the argument right there, is that I don't think he'd actually be able to get Kratos. I think once he sucked him up, Kratos would immediately destroy him. Like,
I'm
disintegrated
writing it
from the
in.
inside. Okay. Mike is like, forget it. Forget it. We have to take a vote, though, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor of Kratos, that you see Kratos winning this battle. Say
Aye.
aye.
I
Daniel
It's all
just wanted to
four.
stir the pot.
It's all four.
absolutely. Look, I had Kratos winning the match anyways, but I think it warranted. I think Kirby stands a chance. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing. The other part is I don't want Kirby in this tournament.
I also
want to
don't.
destroy him.
Bye, Kirby. Next.
All right. The next one matchup is the number 16 versus the number 17. That's Crypto versus Commander Shepard, which is a nice pairing because Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, all he does is kill aliens. Crypto is an alien.
Is an alien.
All he does is kill humans. It works out
We got
pretty
a good
well.
one.
I just recently got the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and so I've been playing through the first. I've only played the third Mass Effect, but I'm playing through the first one right now. Good game, cool character.
Crypto also, though, grabs cows with his little telepathy thing and then puts rockets on their shoes and then makes them fly into the sky. At least that's what I
That's
did.
legit.
When I played Destroy All Humans, I was focused more on the cows.
Yeah, he can level entire cities with his little saucer. He can make people poop out their own brain. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh boy.
And he can morph into any human to be a disguise and read minds. And he kind of sounds like Red Foreman from that 70s show, so it's kind of cool.
So what can Commander Shepard do then? I haven't played either of these games, so
Commander Shepard is very well trained with guns.
okay.
Keelan's like, I think I know who I'm choosing.
Yeah, it's been a really long time since I've actually played an entire Mass Effect game, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of abilities that you get throughout the games, and you can have magic things that you can do.
He's
me ask
he's
you
very
this.
much so a Destiny type character.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me ask you this though. In Mass Effect, is it Commander Shepard going around killing everyone by himself, or does he usually have people with him?
You have two people with you. That you
I
can
think
switch
I
out.
think Crypto wins for that reason right there. Because Commander Shepard by himself, I just don't see it, you know?
But he does, and
But
this
I also I also really don't see it because I have never played either of these games.
and this is spoilers for Mass Effect if you are planning on playing through the trilogy. But Commander Shepard ends up saving the entire galaxy, and he's like the chosen one, and he goes toe to toe with the Reapers, which are the big bad guys, and he does do that single-handedly. But
Oh.
it's more of it's not like a power thing. It's more of just you're the chosen one, so you have to be the one to do
Lead
this.
the charge, basically.
Does he have any sort of tactical advantage that would make him like intellectually stand up and stand a chance, or is it just physical training and like combat awareness?
So let's pause. Let's pause for a second. Just let's remember real quick that Crypto can make people's brains. They poop their brains out. So who cares at this point? I think we have our winner.
But here's the thing. Crypto makes 50s era businessmen poop their brains out. Commander Shepard lives in a different time.
He's not a businessman.
He's not a businessman. He grew up interacting with a plethora of different alien species. He knows how a lot of them tick. He's worked extensively with all of them, working alongside and fighting against. He has really, really, really cool armor. Nothing like Master Chief, which we'll get to later, but he his armor is it has an overshield or whatever. It can withstand a lot. And he's got a lot of tools. And yeah, Crypto can do a lot of cool things, but he's just killing cows. Like you said, cows and just regular people, and CIA people.
Do you remember why he's sent to Earth again? Is he sent there to destroy all humans?
No, I don't know.
Because the other thing about Crypto is he's pretty merciless in a lot of ways. And Commander Shepard, one of the big things about those games is his relational ability and all the relationships he has with all the different characters. And I think that's actually a disadvantage in a fight.
But
okay,
it's a choice. You can play Mass Effect being super like relational, or you can play it as just a cold-hearted, like when people open up to you, you shut them down, and you're the guy who shoots first. You kill everybody. Don't ask questions. So I can really go either way. But
Wait. What if, and hear me out, what if we add a third duo and Crypto and Shepard team up moving through the rest of the bracket?
it's that
Shepard becomes his friend. Psycho
Whoa.
analyzes him. There we go.
and then in the championship, Crypto makes Commander Shepard poop his brain out. Crypto wins. I can't see Commander Shepard winning it. I can't.
Is everyone ready to vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who votes for Crypto?
I do.
I also vote for Crypto. Who votes for Commander Shepard? Dan. That's 3-1 for Crypto.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe we should vote first and
What do
then
you mean?
argue.
But then
No,
we would
because
have to
our
re-vote
arguments
again.
sway.
Okay.
Yeah, we would just vote twice.
Well, we could
then.
sway. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I just want to know for when it happens. How are we doing tiebreakers? Are we gonna like see if anyone's like, oh, okay, it's fine. Yeah, you're right. Or are they gonna like? Is one person on one side gonna try to pull the other person over, or is it just gonna be like whoever has longer hair, which would be me, by the way?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll get there when we get there. What's
All right.
next?
The next one is number 9, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn versus number 24, Pac-Man.
From
also,
Pac-Man.
if you're watching the podcast right now, I keep getting a message saying my internet connection is unstable. The county came and mowed over our internet the other day, again, for the second time in like a month and a half. So who knows if this is going to the video is going to carry through all the way, but we'll see. The audio will for sure be there, but yeah. Anyway, Aloy versus Pac-Man.
I think this one is even easier than Kratos and Kirby, to be honest.
Are you gonna say Pac-Man?
No, I'm absolutely going to say Aloy.
Okay, but is Pac-Man two-dimensional?
Does it matter?
So no, okay, but no, I'm thinking about a battlefield, because a battlefield between a two-dimensional Pac-Man and a three-dimensional Aloy obviously goes to Aloy. She'll just destroy whatever two-dimension thing, like whatever Pac-Man game he's in. Or are we bringing Aloy into the two-dimensional, or are we bringing Pac-Man into the three-dimensional? That's what I want to know, because that would have to be how the battle plays out. It has to be in one of the two, right?
I think bring Pac-Man into the three-dimensional.
True, and then Aloy will kill him. So I'm ready to vote.
Yeah. I was like,
I mean, how big is he though?
she can bring down a T-Rex with guns on its back.
Yeah, but Pac-Man,
Can eat dots.
yeah,
Ghosts.
and ghosts.
Are you guys ready to vote?
I'm ready to vote.
Yeah.
Why is Pac-Man ranked number 24?
Well, he's one
Don't
of the most
mess with
iconic.
a hungry. Don't mess with a hungry dude. That's why.
Pac-Man is the
point.
Guy Fieri of video games.
All right, Aloy wins
Dang.
that one in a landslide. Aloy. I vote Aloy.
Part of me wants to try and make an argument for Pac-Man, but I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
By all means, please.
Yeah, you're welcome to try.
What other powers does he have? He's got to have something. He doesn't just eat things, does he? Yeah,
Sometimes
he
he
does.
eats things that are bigger that give him power-ups, and then he can eat the bad guys. Oh, remember? But I don't think that.
He also eats fruit.
Does eat fruit. I'm pretty sure there was like a 3D version of Pac-Man that I played as a kid, but I'm pretty sure he still only ate stuff.
lame.
I mean, he doesn't have any other things to do anything with, so.
He's literally just a mouth.
And eyes, and in some illustrations, a nose. But anyway.
True. Okay, the next matchup is number 8, Jak and Daxter versus number 25, Donkey Kong.
Danky Kang.
I am going to ask Daniel to shed some light on this Donkey Kong fella, because I don't know much about him other than he is a ape gorilla.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to him other than he is a gorilla. He's very strong. He jumps well. He can glide by swinging himself in circles. He likes bananas.
That's pretty cool.
He's very
he can
adaptable
cause
to
small earthquakes with his,
Oh, yep.
stomping.
He's also very adaptable. Remember, in the Donkey Kong games, you have levels where you're like in mine carts, and you're like going through the mine carts, trying to like be careful inside of the mine and stuff. And so he gets thrown in some weird situations you wouldn't normally find a monkey of his stature.
It's true.
He
It's
can
true.
also
He navigates them well.
he also drives cars.
Yeah, he knows how to
Apparently.
drive. He's got his karting license. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm
So
pretty
he's
sure
a solid contender.
I think
I think he can hold his own in the right context.
Jak and Daxter also have guns.
And they can channel eco.
They can, and they
Which
can
is
also
insane.
drive.
Is this who would win in a race or
I think that's the thing, though. I think Jak and Daxter would still win if it was a race.
probably?
So,
Okay. I think we have to there has to be home field advantage in here. Doesn't there?
But Donkey
Because-
Kong's home field is a jungle.
Right.
Jak
But
and
Jak-
Daxter grew up in a jungle.
No, but okay, well, I guess that's true.
well, part of it's a jungle. There's also a beach.
That's true. They might not have gone to the jungle.
Don't they spend some time in the desert too? So
I think-
Jak
I mean-
and Daxter are pretty adaptable.
I just
I mean,
want
we
there
don't-
to
we-
be an upset somewhere. That's what I want. But
Yeah.
not this time, I guess.
I think I know where there will be an upset.
I think
also-
I know too.
I think I know exactly where the upset will be.
Oh, geez.
It's gonna make me upset, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So are we ready to vote?
I'm ready.
I think so. I think we should take
Yeah.
this one as an easy win for Jak and Daxter.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
All right, Jak and Daxter. All right. The next one is number 4, Mario, versus number 29, Doomslayer, which I think is his name, from Doom. In my opinion, Mario doesn't stand a chance against this guy. This guy goes literally to hell and kills a bajillion demons and comes back and is fine.
But
But
can he shoot fire from his hands?
no, but he can shoot fire from his flamethrower.
But I think
Without
the
his
fire from Mario's
flamethrower.
hands goes a lot further than the flamethrower.
And it can ricochet off of things like the ground.
Where
Yeah.
does the battle happen? I think that's an important thing. Where does the battle happen?
I don't.
Yeah, if it happens in hell, then Mario's definitely toast.
Well,
Literally
Mario
toast.
goes to a
Literally.
type of hell, doesn't he?
No, he goes inside of a volcano.
Bowser's
Well-
castle.
It
Or in
doesn't
a
get much
castle.
closer to hell than that, I don't think.
I wouldn't know.
Well, that's good. So I think okay.
Mario.
I have an argument for Mario here. Mario has been more places than any other video game character on our list. I think he has the most miles on his shoes, the most experience, even in life, and so he can. And he's quite the jumper.
He's
as
a
we
plumber.
know, since day one, and a plumber. So he can jump all over the place and dodge things like crazy. He can pick up a number of different power-ups that can benefit him. He can even pick up a mushroom in which he becomes larger. So, we also have to determine, does Mario start, if Mario's this big,
Flower power, star power.
and if Mario's this big, then we have to put Doomslayer to be that big too, right? In representation of each other, they're the
Right.
same size because they're
Yep.
both human.
Sure.
So they're the same size. And then if Mario eats a mushroom, he becomes a ginormous version of himself. And who's to say that his skin doesn't become bulletproof at that point?
I mean, you're,
Mario.
If
is
he
the
walk-
Hulk.
no,
when he's that big, if he walks into a plant, it's over. He's dead.
No. If he walks
He
into a
gets
plant,
small.
he just gets smaller again.
that's
so
true. So if he gets hit once, he goes back.
goes back down.
I don't know.
But he has
man.
multiple lives.
Micah,
Ooh, that's
Micah
another
does bring up a good point here because the star power, he's invincible. If he gets the star power, he
If he
can
gets the
go
power-up
jump on
and
Doom's
star
head,
power.
and then he's done.
If he
It's
if he
true.
gets the star power, then Doomslayer turns into Mario, and Mario turns into a plant, and it's over.
Oh, yikes.
It's over for Mario, but like the Doomslayer Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to vote.
Mario, okay, Mario. Wait a second, just trust me. What does Doomslayer do? All he does is kill a bunch of demons who don't have any conscious thought.
What
except
does
for
Mario do? Jumps over mushrooms, okay?
No,
turtles.
he eats mushrooms.
Oh,
And he jumps over
important.
and jumps on
He
turtles.
eats mushrooms and kills turtles.
that's terrible.
Yeah, but you can reduce anything to something like that. Remember, Bowser has giant spikes on his back and giant teeth, and he stole an actual human being for his castle. So if that's just a turtle, then let's take Doomslayer for example. All Doomslayer does is shoot a bunch of things. If we want to reduce it to that level.
True. Yeah.
But they're
I'm ready to
scary.
vote.
things.
Keelan's like, oh, good point.
I'm still ready to vote.
I don't buy it. Okay, fine.
Okay. Who votes for Mario?
I do. I vote for Mario.
Okay. Who votes for Doomslayer? I vote
Yep.
for. Yep. And Keelan. That's 3. Sorry, Tyler. Doom a Slayer.
I'm gonna find these guys and actually pit them against each other because
This
I
is
think Mario would win.
this next one I'm really excited about. The next one is number 13 Nathan Drake versus number 20 Spyro the Dragon. Whoa. This is a big deal. Ultimately, Spyro's small. So I think that has something to do with this for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Nathan Drake is also just a man
Mm-hmm.
with guns and he can jump and stuff.
But he's also extraordinarily lucky.
That's true.
That's 100% true.
Like, like he might be super powered, but with luck.
I think luck has to be
Might
one of
be.
his powers.
Yeah.
It
I
has
agree.
to be.
Yeah, they released that thing, Naughty Dog, when when you get shot at and the screen goes closer and closer to black and white and there's the red around. They say that's not him getting shot. That's his luck running out. It only takes one bullet to kill Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake.
It's just
okay.
that's what they said at least. But
That's actually
Interesting.
awesome.
I think it does have to be considered. I think it's a major part of him.
But he's also like, and I don't mean this in like a really bad way, but he's also an idiot. And so I think seeing Spyro, he would be like, "Oh, look at the cute,
cute little
dragon."
guy.
Yeah. And then he would get close to try to pet Spyro, and Spyro would just like blow the.
Yeah,
blow
but
the
then
fire.
Nathan Drake's luck, he would miss. And so Nathan would then pull out a gun from who knows where, because we don't know where he actually keeps the guns. He just pulls them out, and then he would start shooting at him. But then Spyro would do really good evasive maneuvers. Spyro also has, we can't forget, a small little firefly thing. So
Sparks.
Sparks, so he can get hit multiple times before he actually dies.
Yeah.
So if there's butterflies around, better look out, Nathan Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks will eat those and give Spyro more health.
Yeah. I have my answer.
This is a tough one.
I have mine too, but I think
Spyro
maybe
can
we should talk
glide.
about it a little bit more. Spyro can glide. Nathan Drake can shoot stuff, drive off of cliffs and still survive, and
Slide.
slide in the dirt. Jump and he can climb really well.
He can.
Spyro
climb really
can
well.
climb really slow. You played Spyro 2 or 3 when he climbs like butt
The
slow. And you're
ladders.
like, wow, this is horrible. Yeah. It's a rough time.
I'm having a really hard time with this, you guys. Spyro is much more maneuverable.
Faster.
Is much faster in every
Okay,
way.
so how would it go? I just feel like these two characters are so iconic we can't end it yet. So
I think you're right, Keelan. I think the first thing that would happen, this is how it would start, is Nathan Drake would be like, "Oh, look, it's a cute dragon," and then Spyro would initiate the fight by jumping back, maybe spitting fire towards Nathan Drake, who would undoubtedly be missed somehow, but he would be missed, and so that would engage the fight. So then what happens? Probably some sort of witty dialogue.
it's hard to think about.
And then Nathan Drake would probably, if he realized that it was like a freaky dragon, he'd probably start running away. And it'd probably be one of
That's
those
probably
sequences where he would be running away and like turning backwards and
Shooting
shooting at
behind him.
Spyro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's shooting at Spyro.
Yeah.
Spyro, in the meantime, starts charging.
Mhm.
Spyro starts charging Nathan Drake, and
Yep.
Nathan Drake, of course, because he's Nathan Drake, finds a cliff just in the nick of time and jumps off of it and falls into water because of all things. Oh my gosh, I think I might have just figured it out. He falls into water off the cliff. And in the original Spyro game,
You
the first
cannot
Spyro
swim.
game, you can't swim. If you so much as touch the water, you lose
all of your
health.
lives.
you
But-
lose,
Okay, I'm envisioning that part in Uncharted 2 when Sully and Nathan Drake jump into the water. If that's kind of the scenario here, but with Spyro running after him, then Spyro can just glide and just watch where Nathan goes and just glide and glide and glide if he's that high up.
it's true.
Also, I don't think Spyro would just blindly go headfirst into water. I assume he knows he can't swim.
Right,
Mhm.
that's true.
Well, and it's a cliff, like I said, so he would be able to glide and watch where Nathan Drake goes. So maybe he floats down the river a little ways and finds a place to finally get up. You know what? That's the thing. Nathan Drake's in the water. He can only swim so much.
Here's the thing.
Spyro swoops down and flames his head off.
I think this is as good of any as good as any if these two were going if any of the people were going to team up, these two would team up, would they not?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would
They
be a
would team
good
up.
duo.
Nathan Drake never has a lighter. Okay? Spyro the Dragon has flamethrower abilities through his flame breath. Okay? Spyro's not tall. Nathan Drake can reach the top shelf. Boom, done. They're friends forever. I mean, what more could you need?
So is that a double KO, or do they both win?
Nathan Drake plus Spyro might be a rough
Okay.
one for Doomslayer.
Let's
next round.
follow that thread, though. Let's follow that thread. They team up. They're partners, whatever. I think it's more likely that Nathan Drake ditches Spyro and leaves him in the dust doing something stupid in the future than Spyro doing something to kill Nathan Drake.
Yeah. So you're
So I think-
thinking Nathan Drake would win?
Based on that storyline, yeah. Based on the other
Okay.
storyline, Spyro wins.
This is really hard. Daniel, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I didn't play Spyro as much as you guys, so I don't know as much about him and his abilities. I know he's really fast, and that is something that he definitely has on Nathan too. But if we're only basing Spyro's inability to go in the water off the first game, when he can in the other games, I assume, is that correct?
Yeah,
he
he
can
can
go in
swim.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's not a good enough reason, and I think I don't know. I kind of lean towards Spyro in that eventually Nathan's luck will run out and Spyro will still be able to find
Because
butterflies.
Spyro's really lucky too.
Mm-hmm.
He is. He's really lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning a little bit more towards Spyro.
Okay, let's vote. Let's do it now.
Okay. Who thinks Nathan Drake would win?
There you have it. Spyro wins.
4-0. Wow. Spyro the Dragons. Spyro the Dragons?
I
Take-
think honestly,
takes
if we
it.
didn't think so highly of Nathan Drake and know his character so well, he would have died really quickly.
Yeah,
True.
Probably true.
All right, next one, number 12, the Chosen Undead from Dark Souls. number 21, Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Gonna be a good one.
As much as I love Dark Souls, it's a very challenging game because they make your character really like not weak, but not
die
as
a lot.
strong as what you're fighting most of the time. Yeah, I think the Chosen Undead has a really hard fight ahead of them against Sora.
So let's take it. So like we said, we have to take every character in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have to do is we have to assume we're taking the Chosen Undead having bested all of the crazy challenges that they best.
Yeah, like
It's
New
really
Game
hard as a
plus
player.
7. Like they've gone through it a bunch of times.
And Sora at level 100 or 99 based on which game you're playing.
Yeah.
I think obviously Sora from Kingdom Hearts 3 is the most powerful, or Kingdom Hearts 2 maybe. I don't remember what happens in the storyline after 2.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's insanity is what
I
it
only
is.
played 3 once and was like, "Yay," and then was done.
You're like, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be happy at the end of this game, but I don't really
Yeah,
know.
but I just don't know how to feel. But if we're talking like Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora is what I know best, and I think like final form fully upgraded with, because that's when is he holding 2 and he has 2 behind his back, or is he holding just 1 and he has?
He
2
just has
behind
the
his back?
2. He just has the 2 around him.
Yeah,
floating.
So he's holding a Keyblade, and he has 2 other ones that go around him, and he's got. Yeah, I just don't see. I just don't see the Chosen Undead lasting, because that's just what happens in Dark Souls is you die a lot. And if we're just going to where you die, like say we're going to where it says in Dark Souls you died, or where it shows the continue screen for Sora, which one happens more often?
Yeah, but again, like I said, if you're going to take the character into account, you have to treat them as if they made it through everything. Because you as the player might have a harder time with one of these games, but the whole point is for that person to win.
And Sora usually has Donald and Goofy there with him to help him.
Mm-hmm.
That was going to be one question I was going to bring too, because we talk about only taking these characters by themselves, not with like a team if they come with one or whatever. But like one of Sora's abilities is to summon allies, like when he needs them.
And he always
right?
says, "My friends are my power."
So like that kind of gives him that advantage that like he has people that will show up when he needs them. So
yeah. I would say summoning is good. That's allowed, but like Donald and Goofy would not be involved.
right.
But
So he could summon Stitch to give him more magicka, but that's it.
or Chicken Little can just throw a bunch of eggs.
Yes.
I think so. I think Daniel makes a good point though. Like Sora would have people come and help at the last minute potentially if something did go wrong. We can't ever necessarily take that into account. I think regardless though, if I'm thinking about Dark Souls, as hard as it is and as crazy as the bosses are, all you really do is dodge and swing. That's it. And so Sora would destroy that
Yeah.
in terms of tactics, hands down.
Yeah, but like Mario is just, eating mushrooms and jumping on turtles, so
And he would win. But he's out of this
Well,
tournament.
that's why
Remember,
Mario
Dan?
lost. So
He's dead. Yeah.
that's my point exactly.
Wasn't my
Okay.
choice.
Who votes for? Oh, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Who votes
I
for
think I'm
the
ready.
Chosen Undead?
All for
Nobody.
Sora.
Cool. 4 for Sora.
All right, the next one. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a two-parter. We're almost done with one side of the first round. Number 5, Sephiroth versus number 28, Wander from Shadow of the Colossus. This one is interesting.
This is interesting.
I don't know much about Sephiroth. I haven't made it that far in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know. The most I know about him outside of Kingdom Hearts, I would say, is probably from the movie Advent Children. And I don't even know if that's like what his real story is. or
So
whatever.
can I shed a little bit of light on Sephiroth then?
Mhm.
I don't
Please
know
do.
everything about Sephiroth. but he is the baby of a genetically modified person. So he's a superhuman, literally.
Whoa.
He's actually superhuman. And so for that reason, he's already OP. He also has like the longest sword on the face of the earth. He also, with his superhuman abilities, somehow has the capability to like literally summon. He can literally summon meteors out of the sky and have them go down and destroy somebody. So, anyway, there's Sephiroth.
I just looked up how long is Sephiroth's sword. It's somewhere between 6 and 8 feet.
Dang.
That's a long freaking sword.
That's a really long sword.
But here's the thing. If we're taking these characters at their prime, this is, well, we'll do prime in quotations because Wander probably wasn't feeling too hot at this moment. But if this is Wander after defeating the 16 Colossi, dude's got a dang demon inside of him. He gets stabbed through the heart and falls over and gets shot in the leg with a crossbow and stands right back up, pulls a sword out, and is spraying all this crazy black goo everywhere and is still up. And he's very determined. Doesn't let anything get in his way. He really needs to save that girl, sister, girlfriend, whatever.
Is he up or is his body up because of the demon inside of him?
He's up because when he gets up, the only thing he reaches out and he reaches for the body of the girl that he's trying to save. So it's still him,
Okay.
at least a little bit. He does then turn into a giant monster, and I wouldn't consider that Wander
Giant
anymore.
shadow demon.
But he fights like this because of the name, like colossal monsters, and he kills every single one of them just by himself. All he has is one sword, and like no powers or anything.
That's true. That being said, though, all of the Colossi are extremely slow. Or not all of them are slow. There's a couple of them that are fast, but they're not very smart. So, and the fast ones have their own disabilities. It's all about location.
Mm-hmm.
But I think regardless of location, Sephiroth wins. Because he can fly, because he can summon meteors, because he has an 8-foot sword. That even if Wander got within somewhat of swinging range of Sephiroth, he already has the advantage with that long of a sword. So even if it was just a sword fight, I think it's hands down Sephiroth. And he's one of the most iconic villains of all time. He takes on Cloud, and we're going to talk about him later, but
Yeah.
not just Cloud. Cloud with like 6 other people, okay? And stands a very good chance of beating everyone. So anyway.
All right, is everyone ready?
I have nothing else to add.
Same.
Okay.
All right, all in favor of Sephiroth winning?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sephi.
Good old Sephi first.
All right, halfway through the first round.
Let's go.
Okay, now back.
Wait, can I ask?
Mhm.
You guys, several of you mentioned that there's one upset that you're expecting. Did it happen?
Mine did.
Mario.
Mario was the upset you thought was going to happen?
Well, there's also another one on this side. Of
Okay.
the
I
board.
was on the side that we already had, the Nathan Drake versus Spyro one was kind of what I was thinking might be kind of an upset. And then obviously I made a strong case for Mario that you all disregarded. But, you know.
I'm really excited for Link versus Cloud.
Oh, that's going to be really hard.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'm also really excited for Geralt of Rivia and Sam Fisher.
Well, let's go. Let's do
do
it.
it.
There's a lot on this side that I'm excited for.
Same.
All right. Master Chief, which is our number 2 seed, versus Samus, which is our number 31 seed. That's also a really good matchup. I don't really know
Yeah.
much about Samus, but in terms of like visuals, and they're both like Space Marine-y type people.
Very true.
It's a cool pair. I know Samus can turn into a ball and roll really fast.
And shoot a giant thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the boss.
The boss?
She's a boss.
Oh, she is a boss. Yeah. That being said, hasn't really had any games come out in a long time.
That plays a factor
probably a
in this
little
fight.
rusty.
Oh my gosh.
Master Chief is a Spartan, so he's like 7 feet tall, 8
Mm-hmm.
feet tall. So
And
that's
it's up
something.
for debate if he's pure human or not.
Interesting.
There's a lot of speculation that he might be a cyborg.
Okay.
Well, there are all the other Spartans kind of got their pooped.
I was gonna say, like turned into their brains. Is this the opposite of crypto?
I don't know where I was gonna go with that, but yeah, he's the Master Chief.
My argument lies in Master Chief's intelligence, because throughout all the Halo games, he does the smartest things,
Yeah.
the most risky things, but
Always.
the smartest things you've ever seen. And he's like sitting in, like, I cannot get over him, like, shoving the bomb outside of the ship and making
Halo
it
2.
go directly at the other one and letting go, pushing off of it. It's the coolest thing in
It
the world.
is one of the coolest things in any video game. I would agree.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Oh,
I wish stuff like that would happen in Destiny. Come on, Destiny. Get with
yeah.
it. Get with
your
it.
game together.
Aye.
I mean,
Too
they
many
do a really
bounties for
good
that to
job.
happen.
They do a really good job of making their gameplay good, but I don't know. They always miss the mark in some ways, but that's besides the point. Do any of us four really know much about Samus? So for those of you listening, if we're not repping Samus very well, you gotta let us know, because I don't know. Hands down to me, this is Master Chief.
Yeah.
It's a good
Hangers.
it's a good
Hang
matchup.
on,
I think
hang on.
they would put up a good fight, but I think Master Chief, in the process of the fight, would find a way to destroy Samus.
Here's the thing. Under powers and abilities for Samus, the first one is superhuman physique.
Yeah,
I
you
just
watch
think
out.
that's pretty funny. Combat expertise, athletic ability, and alien physiology.
I think all that means is that she absorbs like certain alien like energy spheres or whatever,
Yes.
where otherwise they are like hazardous to humans.
So although very tall, at 6'3" in her
It's a
suit
great start.
is what
Even
this
though she's
says.
tall, it's okay.
No,
'cause-
she's tall, 6'3" in her suit. So that's, but it's not 8 feet. You know.
Yeah.
I think though also, doesn't Samus have like a giant cannon laser thing?
Yeah, her
So-
suit has like 1,000,000 upgrades, which is
So
It's kind of
important.
like Iron Man's suit in the newer Marvel movies,
It
where like
kind
it
of
can like
is.
warp into
yeah,
different things.
it's kind of burly.
okay,
I don't
so
know,
let's
man.
let's revise here for a second.
I
I
don't
think
know,
Master
man.
Chief,
This is
Master
rough.
Chief and Samus would put up a really good fight,
Yeah.
and
Well, okay, but what can Master Chief do? We talked about him like grabbing a bomb and can breathe in space and stuff like that. But what does he have power wise? Obviously, he's very strong, but not
he's
crazy.
He's got tactical awareness and tactical advantage in a lot of ways.
sure.
And he still has just all the same athleticism that Samus would have. Like he's like biologically engineered to be the best that humanity can offer. So like physically he can do ridiculous stuff.
he would go into the fight knowing that he would win. So if he lost, this would be the upset, because every fight that Master Chief goes into, he does it like it's no problem. Even the whole bomb thing, it's no problem. Like no big deal. Another reason to think that maybe he's cyborg, but
And he's just like, no worries. You know, he's just like super deadpan all the time.
He also has his armor can lock up, and so he falls from space all the way onto a planet and survives because he locks his armor, so like it can withstand a lot
Impact.
of impact. Yeah.
Yeah. And not to mention he also has Cortana, which I would consider a part of him.
Well, depending on when this takes place.
true.
I would consider it taking place in his prime, which I
Right.
would argue is not recently.
Yeah.
I think he's
Okay.
been on a decline a
I'm
little bit.
reading more about Samus. Samus froze the sun with her ice beam.
The sun, like
The sun.
That's
Froze
That's-
the sun using
that's
her
fine.
ice beam.
no problem. Says Master Chief before he gets absolutely obliterated.
She can move around on planets that are even bigger than Earth without her suit. Sounds like Master Chief to me. This is like really close, if you ask me. Weakness. Here we go. Somehow seems to lose all her upgrades at the start of every mission.
This would be a new mission.
She shows up and she's just in zero suit, has nothing going for her, and Samus and Master Chief just pops up with his pistol and shoots her in the head. Ah, it was easy.
Dang.
Oof, that's a major weakness. That's something major to be considered because she has to survive long enough to find and gather and like make her upgrades happen. So that
I think
she
she
can
would,
stand a
though.
chance. I don't know if Master Chief would give her time to. I don't think there's enough time.
No. Remember, we're in our prime here. Let's not forget that.
That's
we
true.
Can't,
Yeah.
We can't take it
You're
like
right.
that.
You're right.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, is that we're all reading into we're reading about Samus without actually like experiencing it.
True.
And like, I wonder what if we didn't know anything about Master Chief and we read all of his pros and cons, like what we would think. I think we are probably gonna do a disservice to Samus and Metroid, just as a whole, because none of us have really played it. But
Well, I think with everything, I'm ready to vote, and I'm
ready
so
to
I
vote
don't
as
think
well.
we're doing a disservice to her because of my vote. So
yeah. All right. All in favor of Master Chief winning, raise your hand.
Daniel,
Oh, are you guys serious?
Sorry,
Come
the ex-
on.
I'm sorry, dude.
Unbelievable.
sorry, dude.
I'm
Dude.
so upset.
Okay, so Samus wins.
I'm pretty sure he was the only Xbox representative here too. Now he's just toast.
So, just if you're only listening, Daniel's the only person who raised his hand for Master Chief, because everyone else thinks Samus would have won. So that is the greatest upset ever.
That's
I agree.
a number 31 beating.
I am greatly
the number
upset.
2.
Sorry, Daniel.
Man,
Dude,
It's fine.
the next
Here's the
Froze
thing,
the
Keelan-
sun, man.
that's
She
what
froze
that's
the
what really
freaking
sold it to
sun.
me, is that it wasn't just about fighting one-on-one with people. It was like, if she could do that by herself,
Yeah.
sorry. What were you saying, Tyler?
I've got nothing else to say. Rest in peace, Master Chief. Sorry, bro.
Let's just be honest. If they would have beat each other in a fight, a Master Chief would have only been knocked out. He wouldn't have died. Let's just...
Absolutely. No, wasn't a kill. I agree.
You would hear, boop, 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 boop. That was pretty good, right?
Nice.
That was pretty nice,
pretty good.
actually. Some
bad.
ASMR on this channel.
Okay, the next matchup, which is another interesting one, is number 15, Lara Croft versus number 18, Solid Snake. And right now, I think we should decide: are we talking about reboot Lara Croft, or like PS2? If it's PS2, that's going to be a little different because she like does backflips with dual pistols and is crazy awesome. Not that the new one isn't crazy awesome. but
Which
she's
one is
definitely-
her in her prime?
I would say
I
that
would
one.
The
Really?
backflip one?
Yeah.
I would say
The new ones,
reboot.
though, here's the thing. We have a Nathan Drake complex here if we talk about the new one, because she's insanely lucky. Insanely lucky. So which one's going to go the furthest? I don't know.
And the reboot trilogy has always been, this trilogy is all about Lara Croft becoming Tomb Raider. And she
Okay, so it's all supposed to be before.
like she is Lara Croft because that's who she is, and that's, on her birth certificate or whatever. But she's not Tomb Raider yet. I haven't finished the third game, but
Okay, I'm behind that. I think we should go with Tomb Raider Lara Croft then. I'm fine with that.
I remember at the end. Okay, this
OG. I mean,
really slight tangent. At the end of the first of the reboot games, when you're fighting the final boss, and you always had one pistol, and then at the end you pick up the second one, and you're like, bah, 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 bah. I was like, oh, it's going to happen. And then she just throws the other one away, and then the next 2 games she never used. Anyway.
pretty epic, though.
It was pretty cool. Now, Solid Snake. Have any of you guys played Metal Gear Solid?
I've messed around with it.
I attempted at the beginning, and it was so freaking weird that I did not keep playing.
They're weird ones.
Um,
Keelan, you played through them, though.
I kind of. I borrowed the second one for the PS2, but it was scratched, so I could only get a certain distance before it wouldn't let me go any farther. And I played a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5. That being said, Metal Gear Solid 5, you're playing as a different character. You're playing as Big Boss, which is his dad, Solid Snake's dad, or clone originator guy. Anyway, Solid Snake, think Sam Fisher, but time turned up to 11. Does everything masterfully. He has crazy gadgets. He can turn invisible because of his suit, not because he has weird powers or anything. But he takes on Metal Gears by himself, which are just giant mechs that are ridiculously powerful. And he is a genetically modified super soldier, and that does cause him to age faster. But if we're just doing in our prime, which I would say would be Metal Gear Solid 2 or Metal Gear Solid 1, I would say he would probably have no problem taking out Lara Croft, just because she fights dinosaurs, which is cool, and animals and stuff, but nothing like Solid Snake.
Well, Lara Croft is still... So the other thing you have to take into account is the movies. There's one new movie for Tomb Raider, and then there's the two earlier ones. I think the two earlier ones represent the games pretty well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. If I'm basing it off of those and the original games, which I never played, but I'm basing my knowledge of the movie off of that. So I think that Lara Croft is really lucky. So she would put up a really good fight against Solid Snake. But at the same time, I think you're right. There's too many gadgets that Solid Snake has. He's got, I think he's got better technology. I think he's better at sneaking around. And although Lara Croft is really good at going in head first and trying to obviously raid tombs, I think Solid Snake could just hide it out, wait it out, and take her out easy before the fight even starts.
He's also really good at martial arts and up close and personal combat.
Hand to hand.
Hand to hand. They call it.
Okay.
Something.
I think that's it.
Yep.
Votes?
Everyone
votes?
for Lara Croft?
I vote for Lara Croft.
You just wanted to vote. I was like, yeah. Do you actually?
I mean, yeah. I don't really know much about Solid Snake, but everything you told me just kind of sounds like they're a little bit sort of similar. And Lara Croft, with that luck factor, I just think she would win. But that's fine. Solid Snake moves on.
Solid Snake. Okay. Next one, number 10, Geralt of Rivia versus number 23, Sam Fisher. Micah, you were really excited about this one. Do you want to lead us off?
I guess I'm not as excited for this one as I thought. I just think that Geralt would win easily. I'm more excited for the next one, Ratchet & Clank versus Ezio. But
I think that you have to... So here's what you have going against each other. This is what I think you have. You have a really good fighter who's got magic and combat skills, and then you've got... Which is Geralt, by the way. And then you've got extreme stealth skills in Sam Fisher. So... You always have the element of surprise. That's what people say. With Sam Fisher, you've always got the element of surprise. So you can make a jump on Geralt, I think, even though Geralt is hard to jump because he's got the senses.
Yeah.
But we're talking Sam Fisher, who's like the stealthiest of stealths.
That's true.
And Geralt's senses, if you're talking about the medallion, only works for monsters. It won't alert him if there's a person trying to kill him or anything. But he also can hunt down invisible monsters and those types of guys, and has tools at his disposal to help see potions and whatnot. He also, if we're talking strictly Witcher 3, if you are anywhere above 3 feet off the ground and you fall down, you're dead. You're dead.
Instantly. No, zero fall damage allowed.
Yeah. But that's probably the same for Sam Fisher.
Well, not
wait,
entirely, because Sam Fisher...
It's Sam Fisher from Ghost Recon, right?
Gosh. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ghost Recon.
Yeah, from
He's actually in Ghost Recon.
Splinter Cell, Jack
from
X.
from Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon, Wildlands. The reboot.
This is a hard one just because of the one guy uses a sword and the other guy uses a gun. And distance and stealth is on Sam's side. But if Geralt uses, what is it, Quen? Is that the mind control one?
Quen, yeah.
And he has the shield one.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm making this argument. I think Sam Fisher wins. I think he gets a jump on Geralt and kills him. And I think all of Geralt's moves would work really well on Sam Fisher if he knew Sam Fisher was there. But I think Sam Fisher can beat him to the punch.
Well, yeah, that's hard because then you could say that about any, like, if the other person didn't know the other person was there, you know. And I know.
Well, that's what's going to happen in the next one.
So let's talk about this. So what about? Is there any point in the game where Geralt is pounced upon, for lack of a better term, where he's snuck up on in any way? It doesn't have to be a aggressive encounter either. Is he ever scared and like, or not scared obviously because he's pretty emotionless, but is he ever like surprised?
Caught off guard.
Yeah,
not really.
Not really. I would say maybe when the Wild Hunt shows up or when he has visions of the Wild Hunt, but that's because they are like they literally like appear out of nowhere. But it's not like he's like, oh man, they're here.
Okay, so that's my question is how does he react to when he's put in that situation?
His whole thing is like being prepared. Like he's, at least in what you do in the game when you fight monsters and stuff, he was bred, or I guess he was taken as a kid and then like genetically modified to do what he does. Like he's always prepared. And when you play the game, you can like be less prepared, but like most of the time, if you're talking about like canon, what his character would actually be like, when he goes to fight the simplest monsters, he brews potions that are specific for that type of thing. Like he knows what he's up against almost every time except for the Wild Hunt, just because they're like the big antagonist, I guess.
I feel like if Sam Fisher was going to attack a Geralt and Geralt had no idea at all that it was going to happen, then maybe. But for most of these, it's almost like we're fighting them in an arena or we're fighting them in some sort of thing where they know they're about to fight each other, is what it seems like to me. And if that's the case, Geralt would have done his homework and gotten it done. I
agree with you, but that takes away everything that Sam Fisher is. That just means that anything that makes him special is gone. Like that means he'll never ever have stealth as an advantage, and that's the only thing you do with Sam Fisher.
I would say that Geralt knows that Sam Fisher is trying to kill him. Not that they're like in a cage match facing each other.
Not that he would see it or knows where he is. He just knows that he's good at that, and so he's going to be aware of it.
He probably would.
Then
he can set up like wards and stuff to like if someone walks.
Fair. That's fair. That's a good argument, and I think you're right. Geralt would probably win in that situation.
I agree with you, though. I don't want to take away from Sam Fisher, but I
think
know
right.
that it seemed like that's what I was doing, but that wasn't my intention. So, Daniel,
Sam Fisher gets to go into the room first and kind of hide and do his thing, but he's screwed. Okay,
pretty much, yeah. Dan, any thoughts?
So I've never played either of these games, so I don't really know a whole lot. But my only thought was, if we're talking about situations where Sam Fisher is in stealth mode, do we know anything about how quick Geralt's reflexes are? Like, if something happens, is can Sam Fisher be quick enough to it, even if he's spotted, or is it just
no?
Because that's my only hang up.
Geralt can slow time.
Yeah,
for
a bummer.
Second.
I think Geralt wins. The Sam Fisher could maybe get a hit on Geralt, but it'd have to be the right hit. It'd have to be perfect. He'd have to really get him. And I think regardless, if Geralt had on his person everything to be prepared for the fight, there's just no way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All votes for Geralt.
Aye.
That's
Aye.
4.
Geralt.
Geralt of Rivia.
Next
Where
matchup,
is Rivia?
number 7, Ratchet and Clank versus number 26, Ezio Auditore de Firenze.
I have a scenario for how this works, okay?
Okay.
Both parties, we'll say, because there's 2 people on one, both parties know, right, who they're about to fight, so they've done their homework. That's kind of what we're initially talking about now. I think, even in that case, I think this is how it happens. Ratchet and Clank walk out somewhere, and they're kind of like, and Ezio's not there. He's like nowhere. And then you just see a falcon fly over. And you're like, and they're kind of like looking around. They're like, and something, Ratchet says something to Clank or vice versa. And they're like, I don't know, And then I think Ezio gets the assassination. That's what I think.
Dang.
He comes out of nowhere. Boom. Done. One click.
So
easy
he would
one.
have to use his hidden blade to go through Clank and through Ratchet at the exact
He's
same
got
time.
2 blades, man.
That's true. But does Clank die when he's stabbed? I think Ratchet dies for sure. I got you. I have you on that. But Clank, on the other hand, he's a transformative robot. I think even if that did happen, I think maybe Ezio gets Ratchet right out the gate.
Sure.
And then Clank, transforms and does something to try and get away from
But
him.
he's this big.
He is that big. So he'd probably put up a fight for like a couple seconds and then that's all. Because Clank never actually ever has held a weapon, I don't think.
So that's my scenario. If you guys think it would go a different way, you let me know. But I just feel like Ezio is, unlike Sam Fisher, doesn't really have to be prepared. He's just always lurking because he's an assassin. You know what I'm saying? Like Assassin's Creed, OG. That's what I was thinking. Daniel, what do you think?
I don't really have a competing scenario for you, but I just feel like Ratchet and Clank wouldn't be dumb enough to just stand in one spot and like look around. Like I feel like they would at least be moving around, checking things out, looking in bushes, looking
They're
in
pretty dumb.
hay bales. I know, but like, I don't know. That seems like overly dumb, even just for them to know that there's somebody that's out there sneaking for them to just stand there.
I don't see anyone around.
Yeah,
They are really stupid.
Yeah, they
But
really
they
are.
are also lucky.
Yes.
So every stupid character in a video game has the luck factor.
Yep, it's true.
So
But Ezio has the luck factor too, in a way.
that's true because every time he jumps off of a distance, it doesn't matter
Lands in
how
a
high
hay
it is. If he
bale
lands in hay
or
bale,
water.
he's fine.
Good to go. Also, shout out to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart that comes out very soon.
Very soon,
Less
right around
than
the
a
corner.
month.
Yeah, it's already on my
Crazy.
system. I just can't download it. It says locked. So
Dang. It went gold the other day.
what
It's
does
all
that mean?
done. Development is done.
Oh, very good.
So it's off to be printed and everything.
Perfect.
This is If Ezio can remain hidden, I think it's easy. And there's also they did some things with Ratchet's character in the 2016 reboot-ish game. He's like really, really, really naive in the new
Yeah.
game, and he's not that way in the older ones. He's pretty cocky and like he knows what he's about. And I would say if we're doing the new Ratchet, not that they're like astronomically different characters or anything, but yeah, I think they would just not be able to like be prepared or be ready, or I think they would get caught off guard so easily, and that's like kind of what happens throughout all of the game.
I'm on board. Let's vote.
Who votes for Ratchet and Clank?
But his guns, all he has to do is throw down the Groovatron. It's over.
that's it.
Oh, Groovatron! Oh, yeah, but you have to throw it towards something.
Just throw it at your feet. It can't get anywhere near you.
So
Doesn't
Daniel,
affect you.
Daniel, you're voting for Ratchet and Clank.
I am voting for Ratchet and Clank.
Why?
I just believe in them. I don't really have a lot of experience with either character enough to make a really solid, convincing argument to sway you guys either way, but my gut just says that they would do it.
Saying
If
I
nothing-
believe in them would be terrible for other characters, but for Ratchet and Clank, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
to be honest, if nothing else, at least there's, you know, two sets of eyes looking around.
That's true.
So in a
Ratchet,
stealth
I
fight,
see him coming.
yeah, in a stealth fight, at least they have that advantage
Keelan-
when they're getting approached.
Keelan was about to make this point, I think. Go ahead, Keelan. I think.
Ratchet's looking forward, Clank's looking behind him.
Yeah, so how is Ezio going to get the jump?
From above, man.
By
Yes.
jumping.
Well, he's
'Cause
going
they
to
have
already
no-
be perched
no-
up there.
Peripherals above to see anything coming.
Do you know how terrible people are at looking up, though, for threats? They're terrible at it. Everyone's terrible at it.
I guess
Because
so.
there's
I don't
nothing
really
that
think
comes
about
from
it.
above. So, that's a tough one. Man, Micah's scenario makes a lot of sense.
But it's also dependent upon that scenario happening. If that does not succeed, would the outcome still be the same? Do you believe that Ezio would still be victorious if he wasn't able to get to a position where he could get the drop on them?
But Ezio's never the prey. He's always the predator. Always the predator.
Right, but so are we going to play this out where he's only going to make his move if he's got the drop on them, and otherwise there's no fight?
No, I think there's still a fight. Because Ezio's
So that's my
good
question.
at dodging and all that good stuff, too.
Yeah. But
Okay,
like,
I think so. Here's what I think. I think if it was just them, literally walking out to the middle of an arena and then going against each other, then Ratchet and Clank would win. Absolutely. But stealth is a big part of what Ezio's all about. He would have to make that kill, and he'd have to make it the first time he tried it. And that's the thing, is Ezio makes the kill the first time he tries it. He doesn't miss
you guys
his
were a
kill.
lot better at Assassin's Creed than I was. I'm just going to put that out there.
Well, half the missions, if you don't get the kill at the right spot, you're pretty much screwed. You know?
Yeah, it just makes you try again.
I do.
It
Yep.
makes you try it again. So the Ezio in his prime then would be he gets it on the first try every time. He doesn't miss his assassination. Okay, let's do some votes. Let's see if we have to do a tiebreaker here.
All right,
Votes.
all in favor for Ezio. All in favor
That's
for
not
Ratchet
a-
and Clank.
That was 2 for Ezio
Okay.
and 2 for Ratchet and Clank.
Tyler and
Yeah.
I for Ezio, Keelan and Daniel for Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, so I want to hear Keelan's argument for Ratchet and Clank.
As
And
do I
then-
also, too.
My argument is it's hard when you have a stealth character in these at all, I guess, because the outcome is contingent on them, like just one-shotting, being stealthy and everything, which is their thing, and I get that. But if we turn it around and use okay, well, what if the scenario was flipped? What if Ratchet was the one who was on top? But I guess it's not true to the character. I don't know. Ratchet has so many gadgets, all those guns, all with Clank as his second hand man. He's got his cool armor, that's made of pretty durable steel or some sort of metal.
Okay.
Ezio's
So
blade has to be able to pierce that.
I was
which
gonna say stop
I
right
don't
there.
know
I
if it
think
can.
you've got me. I think you've got me because one thing I didn't take into account is Ratchet and Clank in their prime. So it's got to be the best armor that Ratchet and Clank has to offer, which
And their
there's just no-
Groovatron's fully leveled up.
right.
Yeah.
I think Ezio. I think you got me on it. I think Ezio goes for the kill and would have it.
I think his
But-
blade would break.
Right, but then we're talking about different time periods as well, and so that's almost not fair.
I think one thing Keelan did mention that with these stealth characters, like we saw with Sam Fisher and Geralt, it's really tough because the only advantage that the stealth characters have is their stealth, and without it, not every situation. I think Ezio could handle himself in a lot of situations. I don't know enough about Sam Fisher to say that, but they were at a huge disadvantage without it. So
I will say this though too: is
Everything
that
is-
Ezio, right when you start to get to Ezio, there starts to be this really good fighting mechanic in the Assassin's Creed games, and so he's very good at fighting and parrying people in his own time. But if you put him up against a gun, that's a different story.
They
So
Yeah, they
Yeah.
introduced guns in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, just muskets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And those things can take you out. It's hard. You can't block or parry or anything. And you can't, there's no like dodging. You can run and then run sideways. But, I mean.
So Ratchet and Clank with Ratchet only having his ratchet.
Oh,
then what?
Then I think it would be Ezio. But that's not. Ratchet has guns.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's the characters in their prime, so that would never even be a thing, anyways.
I think, especially
That automatically puts Ezio at such a disadvantage. It's almost unfair. That's my thought.
That's the name of the game, baby.
Yeah, but pit me against somebody, in the Roman Empire, and I have a pistol. I win. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Except it's even worse because it's way in the future with Ratchet and Clank.
I still think Ezio wins. I still think he gets the drop on him, and it's just over. My vote is still Ezio. Tyler's the tiebreaker at this point.
I really don't think Ezio has any equipment that could one foul swoop kill Ratchet. I think his armor's too thick for Ezio's equipment, for his little blade. If somehow ended up being hand to hand or something, then yeah, I think Ezio would win. If Ratchet was not wearing his armor, I think Ezio would win.
I love how hard Tyler's thinking about this right now. He's like,
Well, it's partially trying to figure out who's the winner, and then part of me is like literally the other thing I'm thinking about right now is I'm like, oh, the integrity of the game's at stake here. Like, like once we make this decision, everybody that's from the freaking Roman Empire is screwed. No one's gonna ever win. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not fair. So something's got to give, because Ezio will never win against every character on this whole sheet.
except for maybe Sam Fisher.
Except for Sam Fisher. Exactly.
This was kind of what I was talking about earlier when I was trying to rank people, and I was deciding if I should do it by, like, if I should just rank them versus who I think is most powerful, or who I enjoy as a character more. Or
so Tyler,
like
are you pulled over to the other side?
I think I am. I think I have to be. I think given the fight, if I was trying to be honest, yeah, Ratchet and Clank I think would probably win. Because of the armor piece. The armor piece got me. But at the same time, Ratchet comes into things and he's talking with Clank and stuff, and he like puts his armor away, or at least puts his helmet away. And so Ezio could get a drop and hit him in the head.
But this isn't Ezio finding Ratchet and Clank on a Saturday when they don't know what's going on. Like, they know.
But Ratchet and Clank are stupid. They'll literally walk into a fight area, and then to talk to each other, he'll like put his helmet down and be like, "Oh, look around," like, "Oh, what's going on, Clank?" Well, I don't know. It's literally that could happen.
And then the bad guy will go in front of them and go "Rawr" beforehand, and then they'll fight and they'll put their armor on. Whereas Ezio will come from the ceiling for somewhere out of the air and annihilate them, is what I'm still thinking.
Okay. Am I the tiebreaker? Like, would I decide goes?
I think so.
I mean, if you're still on the Ezio side with me, then we have to do some other tiebreaker. But if you're over, then Ratchet and Clank wins, which I'm fine with, because it's majority rule. That's what we decided on.
I'm just gonna go with Ratchet and Clank.
There you go.
Part of me wants to see how Ezio would do against Geralt, given the fact that Sam Fisher lost so hard. But I'm gonna go with Ratchet and Clank.
We could always do a loser's bracket sometime, because Ezio is the loser.
Okay, next is ranked third, the Dragonborn from Skyrim, and against number 30, Star Fox. What's his last name, Daniel?
Gallagher.
Fox McCloud, not Gallagher.
Star Fox McCloud. So there you go. If my name was what I was, I would be human, not Micah, because he's just named Fox and he's a fox. Anyway.
Oh.
I had no idea where you're going for the bulk of what you were saying.
I didn't either, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So Jordan brought up a point. Jordan, hey,
I think Jordan will be on
the next
something.
part.
Yeah, I think we should have Jordan on the next part.
That would make things a lot easier.
Yeah, no tiebreakers.
Well, Jordan brought up the point. He asked the question. He brought up the question, I guess. What race is the Dragonborn? I didn't know if that would make much of a difference. But he's fighting Star Fox, so I guess I still don't know if that would make much of a difference.
Bless you.
Every time. You have to get one of those in.
Okay,
It's
Dragonborn
LaCroix.
versus Star Fox. I think the Dragonborn would win.
Can somebody who is really good with Skyrim tell me about the Dragonborn?
That would
I
be me.
know literally nothing about them.
So the Dragonborn is the main character you play as in Skyrim. That's like it's like a the chosen one kind of a scenario, but it's like they're a myth. Like, you're the Dragonborn. So essentially, the Dragonborn, when they kill a dragon, they absorb its soul and its power, and can then use what's called a shout, which is like a really powerful magic thing that you can do that's like instant. So, like, for example, if the shout anyway, you can use shouts that are like massive flame, almost like a dragon flamed, or ice, or force. So you can literally force push somebody like really far, like 40 feet. Yeah. And also, not to mention, you have all these attributes that you can level up. And so their sneak, if their sneak is at 100 and they have a bow and all this stuff, it's just they're unstoppable, is what I think.
Cool.
You
Yeah.
can literally like crouch and walk into someone, and they won't see you, and you can like push them around
Because of how good your sneak is.
and like shoot them in the head
Yikes.
with an arrow, and they'll be like,
Where is he?
"Where are you?"
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
feel like
ridiculous.
I agree. I feel like as one of the only people here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the only people that actually knows and understands Fox McCloud to any degree, I will tell you he is going to be worthless in this fight. Like,
Okay, then let's settle it. That's it. You're the only one that knows.
Here's the only thing. Here's the only thing that I think might be somewhat of an advantage is that he's got access to technology through his R-wing, and guns and things like that. But honestly, he just himself he can't stand up to most of the players on this bracket, to be honest. Like, outside of his R-wing and whatnot, he doesn't really do much. He's just a fox that runs really fast.
You what I
And
think?
he does have a deflector shield, which won't help much with this fight either.
I think that means that the Dragonborn wins, hands down. I think it also means that if I don't go to the bathroom right now, I'm going to pee my pants. I have to go to the bathroom so bad.
Okay, we'll see.
So
you
I will
in a
be
bit.
back. I will be back.
Deal.
Oh
So
my
wait.
goodness.
So your vote is Dragonborn? Oh, okay.
My vote is Dragonborn.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I would say even if Fox McCloud was in his R-wing, the Dragonborn has a shout that literally grounds flying things. I don't know if that's specifically dragons or not, but I would assume that would probably do something too.
Yeah.
I think
Like, after hearing your description of the Dragonborn, it's very obvious to me that in this specific fight, he's done for.
if we're talking about like Star Fox from the game and then the Dragonborn that you play as at the beginning, Star Fox would easily win. But because we're talking about people in their prime, the prime Dragonborn, there's no way would lose to Star Fox. So
Yeah,
At their prime, like, Fox can barely beat his adversary, Star Wolf. So
there you go.
there's that.
Dragonborn wins, so we don't have to vote, right?
Yeah.
We're
I don't
good?
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dragonborn.
Next is Sonic versus Noctis. Number 14, Sonic, the Hedgehog, against number 19, the King, in Final Fantasy 15, Noctis himself. Big thing to point out, first of all, Sonic usually will have Tails there with him, helping him out. Noctis will usually have his 3 friends cooking him food and helping him fish and fight baddies as well. So
True.
the two of them by themselves is different for sure.
Yeah. It's what would you consider the prime for Noctis? Noctis, I would say, is only in his prime for about like 10 minutes. Have you beaten?
Yeah, I beat 15.
Okay. Daniel, do you plan on playing Final Fantasy 15 or?
Please go on and spoil. I do not probably plan on it.
So they have really cool powers, the royal line of whoever these people are. One of the coolest is throwing a weapon and teleporting to it, which I think is super cool and unique. But what happened, that's like his power that he has. He can also do like normal magic fire and stuff that's in all the Final Fantasy games. But when you get to the end, it's very confusing, at least to me, but somehow all the kings throughout the game, you like go to their tombs and you gather their essence or whatever, and you get their weapon, and you can call this like flying weapon that floats around you, and the more tombs you go to, the more weapons you get and everything. And then at the end, all of them come to life and then stab you and then like enter into you, and then you go to like the afterlife or something, and then they all come out of you, and you have like this magic ring that like basically one hit kills anything.
Tyler's
I would say
about
that's
Noctis.
I would say that's his prime. It's only for like, honestly, it's only for like 30 seconds that he's in his prime, and then he dies. But I still think
But he doesn't die, does he?
I don't know. Is that? I
Doesn't
think
he
that's
come
like.
He
back?
does.
I think that's like
No,
heaven.
he dies.
In the Final Fantasy world, or in that Final Fantasy world. I think he would just absolutely destroy Sonic.
But Sonic is so freaking fast.
It's true.
Freaking fast.
I actually am for Sonic for 2 reasons. One, he's freaking fast, which is a major thing. But 2, you absolutely have to get 2 hits on him so long as he's carrying rings. Your first hit, he'll drop his rings. Your second hit will kill him if he hasn't picked up even just one ring.
Okay, that's a good point.
So as long and remember, he's fast. So
Yeah.
Sonic, you hit him, he picks up one ring, he's still in it. Hit him
That
again,
whole-
drops that one ring, picks it up, he's still in it.
Here's the thing. Here's the
deal.
thing. Wait, though. Let's talk about this in terms of the video games, okay? Because you can think about it in terms of the movie or whatever people have recently conceptualized Sonic to be, which is from 0 to absolute insanity. He's immediately fast. That's not how it works in the video games. You
True.
have to build up the speed to get there. And it's literally like chain reaction. So you go faster the more you run without getting hit or slowing yourself down. And so you start off at a regular pace. So all Noctis has to do really is get one hit on him and then make sure he doesn't,
Except that he can go into the ball and he can charge, and then he's immediately got there. And that charging doesn't take long for him to get movement.
But
so it's not
also-
like he's slow off the start. He's still fast.
Even if Sonic is fast, though, one of the really cool powers that Noctis has is he can chuck his sword and teleport to where his sword is. You can just chuck it, and then wherever his sword is, he teleports to it. So he could dodge some of those things that Sonic's doing, even if they are going insane speeds. So I think it'd be a dodging battle. Like I can see Noctis
It would
going,
be a really good fight. It
Yeah.
would be. This might be one of our best matchups yet.
Would this be okay? So I know I said his prime was when he goes to and fights the Arden or whatever. I would actually change that and say his prime is when he uses his, I don't know what it's called, his ultimate power or whatever, and can fly around and has all the weapons around him and can even without throwing, can instantly teleport places when he like fights the Leviathan and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when he calls on the king's
Yeah,
weapons.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah,
He can also summon, and you said summons count.
I did.
He can summon extremely huge, gigantic gods. Like
So can Cloud, which is the next one.
a ginormous titan that's like literally probably has its head out of the atmosphere. He can summon the Ice Queen. He can summon like the Inferno King of Hell, and like just he has insane summons that he can do. And he's destroyed. He's destroyed. If you take it to its final degree, he's destroyed a turtle-looking thing that's the size of a mountain. Literally is a mountain. And he's destroyed it with his friends. So I'll give you that. But I don't know. I think it's a really hard fight because Sonic's going to be able to dodge a lot of crap. Noctis is going to be able to dodge a lot of crap. Swords be flying. You know what else the swords do? Is they rotate around him to block damage.
Man.
I'm ready.
If you look at the original, one of the original Final Fantasy 14 verses is what it was going to be first. That's what happens is all the bullets are getting blocked by those weapons that are
Blades.
floating around him.
Yeah.
And they're invisible to everyone else. Only he can see them.
I'm ready to vote.
Keelan, do
I
you
am
have
too.
any thoughts on this?
I'm
It's
ready
one
to
of
vote.
those
Keelan's
things
going to
that
be
I-
the tiebreaker.
It's one of those things that I don't know enough about Sonic. I played Sonic Mania, which is like a remix of the original Sonic, and you're right. He's very slow when you start moving. It's like you know how most people walk like this? He goes like this. Like it's very slow at the start. If
wait.
you're listening to this and not watching, that will have not made any sense to you.
Yeah.
When what is Sonic Mania one of the 2D scrollers?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever play like Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2?
No.
Is that the one where he has a
Enlighten us.
relationship with a human girl?
No, that sounds weird. I don't think so. No, Sonic 2 is when Shadow kind of comes into things too. But in that one, it's like a 3D, like just, I don't know what you'd call it, just adventure, third person doing everything. And you slide through rails and you go up in space and you run on walls. And in that game, Sonic has more or less a final form. And he glows gold. Think very much like Super Saiyan. Like he glows gold and he can levitate and fly around. And like he literally destroys things just by running into him. Like Captain Marvel, like through Thanos' ship, kind of like destroys things on impact and touch. So if we're talking about in their prime, like we need to acknowledge that Sonic's prime is not his 2-dimensional rolling and just fighting Eggman at Mushroom Planet. Like his prime is pretty intense.
I think Noctis still wins against that. That's my personal opinion, though.
I'm still ready to vote.
Okay. All right, let's vote.
Who votes for Sonic? I definitely. I've been for Sonic before Daniel even talked about the gold thing. I was like, Sonic wins.
Okay, so
I really
for those of you listening, it was Daniel and Micah for Sonic, and then Keelan and I didn't raise our hands, which means obviously we're for Noctis. So Micah's got an argument that he's been sitting on for a while, so let's hear it.
I don't really have that big of an argument. I'm a sucker for people who are really fast. It's been like my favorite thing since I was a kid. Fast things, like a cheetah was my favorite animal when I was a kid growing up. Usain Bolt, watching Usain Bolt run was so much fun for me. So those kinds of things I'm just a sucker for. Fast cars, just a sucker for that kind of stuff. So that being said, if Sonic can go so fast, we're talking about in his prime where Noctis is basically not moving. There's not really much that Noctis can do.
Right, but that's the thing. So here's my question is, can somebody who runs really fast, can they slow down time? Because there's a difference. If you can run really fast, that's great, but everybody kind of assumes that means that you can function at a normal speed, but it looks like it's slower for everybody else. That's not necessarily the case for Sonic.
If he can run really, really fast, he can see where he's going and change direction really, really fast, which means he knows what's going on around him while he's moving really, really fast. So even if he can't it's like Noctis isn't moving at all and Sonic's literally just like playing around. I don't think it's necessarily like that, but he'll have enough control to where he'll be able to hit Noctis enough times, I think, for nothing, for Noctis not to even know what happened.
But this is where we get to the if Noctis was just standing there. But this one's hard because I would love for Sonic to move forward because it would be fun to have him in more.
Sonic versus the Dragonborn.
But I don't like Noctis is.
Here's the other thing too is I don't know, and maybe this is not even a valid argument because we're not even. You know what? I'm gonna take it back. The more I think about it, I'm like, this isn't a valid argument because it doesn't apply. No.
Say it.
All I'm thinking is that we already have 2 OP people from Final Fantasy that have moved forward, and not that takes away from Noctis and his abilities, but at some point, if we're looking through this bracket, and if these OP Final Fantasy people are just gonna keep trouncing everybody because they have these like crazy abilities, like.
Dude, I can't believe I missed the last one because I would not have agreed with you guys at all.
With the
you
Dragon
picked
Ball?
Cloud. You picked Cloud over Link.
No, that hasn't.
Oh, sorry.
happened yet.
No, we haven't gotten there. Sorry,
That hasn't
but like
happened.
I'm sorry. We have these others that we're talking about. I don't know. I think Sonic.
I could call Jordan and see if he answers, and he could be the tiebreaker.
Let's do it.
Does Jordan know these characters? Sonic, of course, but does he know Noctis? He doesn't. So I think we just have to explain it again to him. So
That's true.
I can see an argument for Sonic, but at the same time I just think Noctis kicks his butt. I feel like I want Noctis to win for the same reason that I wanted Ezio Auditore to win. No. Maybe Sonic should win for that reason.
This one's again. I would rather have Sonic win, but I think and this is my fault for putting 3 Final Fantasy characters on this bracket, but
I don't think that Cloud's gonna make it, for the record. That's where we're going next, but that's just my opinion. So
yeah,
How are we gonna solve the tiebreaker? Because I think we've all made our
Nobody's
points,
budging.
and
I'm
I don't
not
think we're
budging,
gonna
yeah.
change. So
why, Dan? Why are you not
move
budging?
forward.
Why are you not budging, Dan? Why do you
I've already
think Sonic?
I've already gave all my reasons.
Okay, but why not Noctis?
Well, part of it is I don't really know very much about Noctis, and what I've heard from you just doesn't make me think that he could outdo Sonic in his final form
By himself.
or his prime form by himself.
But he's got the power of 13 kings. Did we mention that? We did. 13 kings inside of him. 13 weapons he can use all at the same time, rotating around him basically as a shield. He can summon giant titans that are so tall that their heads are outside of the atmosphere, including an ice-breathing princess and a basically the devil.
Yeah, but Sonic is super fast, and so long as he has rings, he won't die. So
Who's to say that there's rings available? Did anyone mention this?
well,
I would assume that you're coming in as your prime. Sonic has collected a few rings, so he's coming in with some rings. I don't think this is like
Anytime
he has
you
to
get
find
hit, the rings go scattering. So he's bringing the rings, then he gets hit, then they go scattering. Then he can pick them up again.
That's the thing, though, is that he gets hit, the rings go scattering, and that's fine, but one more hit, then Sonic's dead. Whereas with Noctis, he can get hit 1,000 times because he's in his prime. How does he get to Noctis? Tell me how he gets past the shield of flying invisible
Noctis
weapons.
doesn't have the shield of flying invisible weapons forever. Never does he have it up for more than a little bit. Boom. There. Done. All the time. Anytime. If he's got that up, obviously he wins, but it's not all the time. He can't just use that power indefinitely forever. Sonic can just run forever and ever.
But Sonic doesn't always have rings. Sonic doesn't always have rings. You guys are assuming that he can just pick one up immediately when he drops them all, and I don't think it's that easy, especially because if you're going to say that Sonic can just be at his full 100% speed all the time, that's the same argument that Keelan made about him being really slow at the very beginning. Sonic's not fast all the time. Sonic builds up to his speed.
But he's not.
Slowly.
If you look at him in his prime, the old games are not accurate with how long it takes for him to build up speed.
That's what I'm saying. If you're talking about prime, if that's the argument that you're making, then we're talking about Noctis in his prime, which is with him having flying swords around him at all times.
I understand Tyler's not budging. I understand Daniel's not budging. I'm also not budging. Keelan, if you're not, I think we should move on and let Jordan help us finish this one before the the final 32. Oh my god, no, Sweet 16.
Okay.
I,
All right.
I will just say one more thing, that every time there's a huge boss fight in Final Fantasy 15, it's basically always Noctis by himself. He always rises to the occasion, and he always comes out on top. Every single time. And it gets crazier and crazier each time. It goes from one of the, I don't know what they're called, the Leviathan, whatever that thing is, fights it one-on-one, mano-a-mano.
How does my argument about Mario not pass and Sonic is currently at an impasse right now? Because he dies just as easily as Mario.
Mario's not fast.
No.
He's a freaking plumber. He's a plumber.
And he does not die the same. Like Mario 2 hits and that's it. Sonic, you can hit him 20 times as long as he gets a ring between each hit.
You keep saying
he's fine.
if he gets a ring. It's 2 times for Sonic too. It's the same thing. If Mario gets a mushroom in between, it doesn't matter.
But do you know how easy it is to get a ring compared to how easy it is to get a mushroom in Sonic?
I'll give you
or
that.
in Mario.
I'll give you that. Clearly we're at an impasse. It doesn't matter. We need to move on.
I will. One more thing. Noctis has one more letter in his word. Otherwise, they're anagrams. Is that the word? It's not the word.
What?
Oh my
You
goodness.
can't spell Noctis without Sonic.
So Sonic wins, right?
Whoa.
Because you wouldn't have Noctis without Sonic.
We'll put an asterisk here. Okay, moving on.
Wait, sorry, one more thing. Who would be a better match for the Dragonborn? What would be more fun? Probably Noctis.
Oh yeah, but we moved on from Etsy,
okay,
or we
but
moved
we're
on from
moving
the
on.
previous one because of that.
True.
All right. Number 11, Cloud versus number 22, Link. Don't know much about either.
I already kind of made my. Or do you want to know about Cloud?
No, I started the 7 remake, so I played as Cloud for a short amount of time, but obviously not enough to find out his prime. I'm more curious to ask when you think Link's prime is, because there's been so many games with Link.
I feel like you're going to be the one that
Link
answer that question.
is probably always in his prime.
Twilight Princess.
Well, he's definitely not in his prime when he's little, that's for sure.
In Twilight Princess, he can turn into a wolf.
That's
Woof.
true.
Daniel, you've played quite a few of them, so why don't you speak to that?
Well, shoot, I don't know. My first instinct would be either, it would be Ocarina, adult Link. He's got the Master Sword, and the Hyrule armor, which is pretty, or the Hyrule shield, which is like indestructible. And the Goron sword, broadsword or whatever, which is, if you do the mission right, it's also indestructible and huge. It's like taller than Link in like its length. And he's got potions and he's got his fairy. I would probably say Ocarina of Time, adult Link would be his prime. But I don't know.
And then we've got Cloud, who's a really epic character, the favorite in popular culture, at least in terms of Final Fantasy. He's the poster child. But to be honest with you, aside from him being a favorite, I think Link is more versatile. I think he is smarter than Cloud in a lot of instances. And although Cloud would put up a good fight and probably do some serious damage to Link in rage response to Link, I think Link might pull out on top in the very end.
So when I worked at Little Caesars, it seems like it's going to be really off topic, but it's not. When I worked at Little Caesars, one of our coworkers, Keelan worked there with me, one of our coworkers drew characters for everyone. Were you there when they did that, Keelan?
Yeah.
My character was Cloud. So I've been a big Cloud fan for a long time, but I agree with Tyler. I don't think Cloud would win against Link. Even if Cloud can summon things like he can in Final Fantasy VII and all this stuff, Cloud by himself, I don't think could beat Link, because we're taking things out of it. Like Cloud can't be on his motorcycle, stuff like that. I mean, I think Link wins. I'm with Tyler on that one.
Link at his most powerful has way more cool things than Cloud does at his most powerful. Cloud at his most powerful is pretty epic, but
the reason why people like him is because he's like just kind of a normal kid in a lot of ways. He's got power. He's like powerful, but that's not why he's the poster child. You know what I'm saying? He's a poster child because he overcomes things because it's the Final Fantasy thing. He overcomes things with the help of his friends, and he overcomes things because, and he's just like kind of a normal kid. So
he is more epic in Final Fantasy VII than all the other characters. Like, he's clearly the most well-trained and most powerful, but I still think Link wins pretty much hands down. We can just go to a vote if we want to. Unless
ready.
someone disagrees. But that's
Ready.
what the vote's for.
who votes for Link?
Aye.
Everyone.
All four.
All right. That was way easier than Sonic versus Noctis.
I think Sonic and Noctis was actually the hardest of the whole bracket so far,
Yep.
considering we still haven't figured it out.
All right.
My goodness, this is taking a really long time.
Yeah. The
This is a
final
lot of fun, though.
matchup for the first round, kind of, is the number 6, Cole McGrath from the Infamous games versus number 27, John Marston from Red Dead Redemption.
Cole McGrath
Okay, I'm gonna go.
wins.
I was going to say Cole McGrath wins on principle of the previous decisions that we've made. Hands down. I'm done. I won't budge.
Just so you know, John Marston is a cowboy.
Yeah.
And Cole McGrath, that's it.
What about loyalty? That's what he says.
And Cole McGrath can lightning things out of nowhere. He has
And also
lightning
eventually-
powers.
And he can absorb lightning from people somehow too, which is
It's
crazy.
pretty terrifying.
He also eventually gets ice powers, too.
Yes. I
Infamous
would
2.
really like to play another Infamous game. I would like a remaster of 1 and 2 is what I would like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
seriously.
PlayStation
Yeah.
5 remaster. Those games are insane. They're a lot better than Second Son was good, but it strayed too far away from just classic lightning power, man. That's all I want is classic lightning power. Yeah. There you go, Cole McGrath. Was that the easiest one?
The first thing I thought of was if Ratchet and Clank beat Ezio Auditore, then Cole McGrath beats John Marston with no issue.
Absolutely
No issue.
Yeah.
Cole
All
McGrath
right.
is going to be hard to beat, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
it's Cole McGrath versus Link next.
The
so-
favorites we have so far, I believe the favorites to be Kratos, the Dragonborn, Cole McGrath, and maybe Sephiroth are probably or maybe Sora. Because let's be real, Sora is against Sephiroth, and we all know how that ended up twice. All right.
Yeah, for some of you.
For real.
And
Well-
some of us can't get there, so
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. So just a really quick 2-hour episode for you guys.
Just a really, really quick 2-hour episode. Yeah. Wow. Holy.
We'll be
moly.
able to fit the rest of it into one more episode. Just
I'd just like to
because-
point out that we still don't know if it's Sonic. Oh my god!
Wait. Is the plan that we're gonna leave that to Jordan?
Yes. So
In the next part?
my plan is we will explain our points of view to Jordan and explain everything that we know. We can even tell him in advance and have him go research it for himself. Then we'll all explain our points of view, and then he will choose. And what he chooses goes, is what I was thinking.
I like it. I think
He's
that's
gonna
fair.
pick Jordan. I know you're gonna pick Sonic. Listen here, little.
Listen, Jordan.
I think, and I really do think that we owe it to Jordan. Was supposed to be here, but
Yeah.
things happened in our schedules. It's hard to get all 5 of our schedules together. We're pretty busy dudes, so I'm really
if he
pretty
picks
sad
Sonic,
that he's
if
not
he's
here.
like even on leaning towards Sonic, I'm gonna call a recess and make him play the whole Final Fantasy 15 before he can make his decision.
Which I'm fine with because it means I don't have to do anything and my character moves on. So there you go.
All right.
No, I'm calling a recess. That means he can't decide.
Oh frick. Okay.
Well, thanks for listening, watching. To all of our Patreon supporters, thank you so much. You guys go above and beyond for supporting us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Catch you guys on the next half of this, right? May Madness.
May Madness, baby.
May Madness.
What,
May
This comes out.
Madness.
Go.
The first annual.
When is the?
I don't know when it'll come out, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, no, we can totally fit both of them into May.
Yep. Easy.
Woohoo. Okay, stay frosty.
Have a
Stay frosty.
Have a great time. Uh-oh.
See you
And-
guys.
And
Ooh, bless you. Wow.
Excuse me.
as they always say,
Allergies, man.
make sure to keep that thing on you.
Right.
I
That is
think
what they always say.
and I know we're trying to end the episode here, but I think we should put Noctis and Sonic to a vote on a poll on both Twitter and Instagram. We should have
I think
Jordan
we
make
should
the
just
final
have Jordan
decision.
decide.
No,
But then
no.
also
Jordan
do
will.
that-
Jordan will decide, but we should do the poll.
We should do the poll between the episodes, so we will know who is decision. But there will be a week before, at least 1 week before the episode. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I spent $10 on asparagus today. I wasn't paying attention, and I just picked a jar of asparagus.
$10 for
$10.
asparagus.
Unbelievable.
Jeez.
All right. Anyone else have anything to say?
No, just go check out us on social media. Now, after you've listened, there will be one of those polls. So a poll on Instagram and a poll on Twitter. So if you think Sonic would win, or if you think Noctis would win, I encourage you to listen. Obviously, you've listened to all of our things, but I would also encourage you to do some research on your own and see what you think and add it to the poll. Or you could just do what most people do in polls and just select one so you can see who's done what. Which is fine too. Wow.
But if you do that, just select Noctis. So
yeah.
No.
No. Select Sonic instead.
We'll have one
Sonic
option
will
be
be-
Noctis, and the other option be I'm a fool.
And I hope more people choose the I'm a fool one, to be honest.
They probably would too.
They
That's
probably
the thing.
will. Yeah.
okay, thanks for sitting for 2 hours with us.
Love you.
great.
Love you. Bye.
Bye bye.
I thought maybe if we was having a roast chicken one night or something.